Well, welcome to the Crazy J Podcast Show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your main man, aka Crazy Crockett, aka Andres Podcast. Folks, today I'm going to talk about the politics news. I'm going to talk about some things going on, some things that happened last week. We need to talk about Charlie Kirk, and we have to talk about uh, his assassin. Of course, we got to talk about Jimmy Kimmel. He has now been canceled. He's been off air. It looks like his career is done as a host, all because of his political views. Let's talk about this guy right here. Uh, it's supposedly sometime last week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. Jimmy Kimmel suggested that Trump's political movement, the mega community, wanted to exploit the situation. And that was one thing that they wanted to talk about. Jimmy Kimmel seems to always put himself into a firestorm of politics against Trump, uh, for Biden. He's always very negative energy about anything that any president that he does not agree on. And that's something about late night TV shows that is got to get away from that, got to get away from the politics. You have to just get away from anything that's going on with any president or anything that has happened outside the source of someone like Charlie Kirk and the assassin. Um, it's been proven that Stephen Colbert is also going to be off air in 2026 in May. It seems like the era of late night talk shows has ended. It seems like there is there's no magic of being on those shows. You're not going to become a star when you go to Jimmy Kimmel. You're not going to become a star when you go to Stephen Colbert and those type of shows. I don't even really watch any of those late night shows. Anyways, I don't even watch. I don't even know who's on NBC's late night. Ever since Conan O'Brien left the air, I do watch his podcast sometimes, so that seems to be a lot more fun. It just seems like these new age uh, talk show hosts, late night hosts, are more into politics, making the left networks want to feed into their propaganda against anything that's politics, anything that's against government. Is not ever good to have any late night talk show talk about politics. But moving on, folks, we have to talk about um, uh, this guy. I'm going to remove this. We're going to go here. We're going to talk about um, uh, Tyler Robinson, the guy that assassinated uh, Charlie Kirk. Now, and I want to, I don't want to just focus on the idea of what he did. This isn't about glorifying this man, okay? This is not about glorifying this at all. But I really do want to point out something that I've been looking up, researching. He is 22 years old. He was arrested a week and a half ago. He was a college student, 22 years old. He made out very obscene suggestions about Charlie Kirk. He suggested that his that he had the opportunity to take the shot, and and I'm going to take it. So he was going to go there at the Utah Valley University, take a shot. Uh, he made a suggestion about saying I had enough of his hatred. Uh, some hate can be negotiable. He tried to after the shot. He tried to retrieve the gun. Too many officers were in that field or that yard or where the gun where he hit it with a blanket. His mom recognized him at scene in the video that they sent out to people to look at. The Utah Police Department, along with the FBI. Come to find out, he was dating a trans woman who once was a man, now is transitioning to a girl. Uh, his dad is a mega personality. He is a Trump supporter. He was not really supportive of his son uh, for reasons of dating another person who's trans, or probably his personality. So we have all those facts, but let's talk about this, folks. There has to be some form and shape that we have to understand. How does a 22-year-old young person who dates a guy who looks like a woman and still has male genitalia, and you can say, oh, he's attracted to trans? Well, if you're attracted to a trans and that trans looks like a girl, shouldn't you be attracted to a woman? And that to me is what it's difficult to wrap my brain around. And I don't want to be a jerk about it, but some things just cannot be ignored. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that this kid had issues with women all his life, or girls his age all his life, and wasn't able to succeed in their lovemaking episode, or he wasn't able to um, make that note to a girl and to pursue her as a mate. And maybe it rubbed him in the wrong way. Maybe he got rejected too many times. I get rejected all the time. Look at me, I'm disabled. There's not a girl in the world wants to do anything with me anyways. So, but I'm not going to go shoot somebody in the head because he hates disabled people. Now, I'm not saying Kirk hated disabled people. I'm just saying I'm making an example of that. Uh, but I think that you have to really understand that this mindset of this generation, that if it's too difficult for them to fit in, well, what do? They join subreddit groups. They join groups that they can feel comfortable in. So, as for example, he did join a Reddit subreddit group of trans community, and he probably was just wondering what his roommate was all about. And then other people say, well, I can't date other women, or I women don't see me attractive. But there are people out there who are trans who are attracted to men, and you get used to dating a person with the male genitalia or the same sex genitalia that that person has, and you be part of a community. I really think that's what happened. And I really think that's what's really happened to a lot of people. I don't really think that people are actually attracted to trans, because there is a issue when a heterosexual man finds out that the person he's dating is actually a trans woman. He's 70 to 80% of the time he will end that relationship. 2022. I looked it up on ChatGPT. So that's something to really consider to look at. But I really want people to understand that some things don't add up. And maybe this kid, Tyler Robinson, was a homosexual, but he made himself to, like, look, if I date a person who's trans with male genitalia, it looks like a girl, so no one's going to figure out that I'm a homosexual, and then that way I'll fit in part of the community. Because if people don't know that his partner is trans, he'll just fit in. That's really that is really probably what would make a lot more sense of this whole thing. If he's a closet homosexual, or if he's a person that is in denial of his attraction to men. And because trans men or trans women, men that transition to women, still have that masculine look. There's no way to fix those jaws, that facial feature that 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 man has that is transitioned to a woman. So that is always a key thing. There is a person that I work with, and she was born a girl and transitioned to a boy or a man, and this person still looks like a girl. You can tell she may have changed her name to a boy's name, but it's still a girl. So, and this is something that even going back with Charlie Kirk, you can't change your genetics. You can change the identity of stuff. You can change something about it. You can change your look. You can get hormone advancements or cut off some hormones and all that. But your DNA is always going to be for what it is. Now, there are scientists and doctors who say that they do believe people have identity. Uh, I wouldn't say crisis, but identity, uh, personality trait where they feel like that they were born a girl but are a guy. Now, I can't argue one way or another if that's true or not because the science isn't really there. And this is something that even other people, other scientists aren't able to to connect. So there is a book called the Worm Book, and it's an illustration. Not it's not an illustration, but it's a book that describes how a worm can uh, ad- just the slightest change in their DNA can be a male worm, but then be identified as a woman worm. This is something that I can't really understand about this, but this is what I've been researching in itself. So, as we know, the X and Y chromosome is what male and female are developed. So, so that's the basis of what we know. But what we don't know is that how much of that chromosome or DNA can be changed so much that someone can identify with something that's totally that's not them. But I do not believe that Tyler Robinson is a person that is attracted to men. He is attracted to women that decided that having a relationship with a real woman is way too hard, way too much. He does not have the connection with women his age. Now, I would tell you the truth, in the past, I've been hearing people say that that boys and girls are not having relations with each other. Young men and young women are not having relations anymore. But that's not true. 64% of women in their age group are having sex with men in their age group. So these girls who are 22 to 25 or 19 to 24 are still having relationships or sexual encounters with boys or men in their age. When I call them boys, I don't mean like teenage kids. I'm talking about their their level, okay? And the same thing goes for the young men. They're having relations with girls or women their age. The reason why I say boys and girls because maturity level. Now, when you're 18, you identify as an adult male, but you may still be an immature little boy in that 18-year-old body, even though you can go and join the army. You're still a boy. So I still think that it takes a while for men and women to mature. So Tyler probably did not mature fast enough. And I don't want to say that he's supposed to mature faster or slower. I'm just saying that a lot of times people don't mature at the same pace. So maybe he didn't mature in the same pace. Maybe he didn't mature fast enough, or maybe he's still mature. People still grow and grow older. They still change. They still have an opportunity to be the person that they weren't when they're 18 and when they were not 22, and when they turn 30. 30 is usually a good age where you understand where you're at. Now, some people tell you by the age of 25, you should kind of figure out where you're at, who you want to be with, and what kind of identity that you are. But I'm gonna be honest with you, folks. I think a lot of people are mind boggled by this. There was a state address, a memorial for Mr. Kirk. His wife uh, thanked the crowd, thanked the people that supported him, thanked the Vance family, the vice president's wife, for supporting and her kids, and that's outcome of what happened to him. Um, it seems like this is something that's not going to go away. This political distraction, this political situation that we have, where politicians and governors and all these people are getting shot. We got France on going on a hot wire. There's a revolution probably going on in France. In England, there's a there's like a almost, you call it like a million man march, but it's almost like a 100,000, maybe a couple of 100,000 people last week that made a march to Parliament, and those are the people who are, the social class is finally speaking out. In the European countries, it seems like there's a lot of things going on, and in America, we have a lot of political stuff going on. So I want people to understand that if you don't understand something, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I mean anybody. I mean, I don't care if you're right wing, left wing, up and down. I don't care if you're straight, gay, or disabled or not disabled or whatever. You need to take a deep breath. Take the deep breath and realize what really matters is within your circle. Okay. So this is something that someone should have told Tyler Robinson. If you didn't like what Kirk was saying, so be it. Let it go. Let it be. Move on. And if you want to be with your trans partner, so be it. Kirk wasn't going to knock on your door and scold you. He had better things to do. He really did. And most people in America, you know, it's kind of like if it's not in your face, no one cares. If it's not if their business, no one cares. The only times that people care is when someone throws it in their face. Okay. So there you go, folks. Peace, love. I know this wasn't a really great and formal uh, podcast, but it's an opinion podcast about being positive and being more friendly. I wish I was more friendly to people at work. But all right. Follow me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you download your podcast. I have everywhere on other platforms, YouTube, the Patreon. Um, keep the love going. Um, to the Kirk family, again, I hope everything works out. I know it's such a lame thing to say. God bless. Thank you.